Yo, what's up everyone? Welcome back. Here, Tower 2. Well, actually, it's Tower 3 for me. I'm gonna do heroes before I do like the second tower. Because for me, I think angels is just an easy pick. And they're really tanky, and all you need is just basic crit resistance. Mile doesn't really need the crit resistance middle, so it's just crit damage. But Tomiel definitely needs them, and he needs the recovery rate gear. It's an easy fix. Also, you'll see my units are True Awakens. At least 3 of them are. But the only one that I think really feels like it really needs it is Ludo for me. Just because in one of the stages, she actually gets single targeted in the first turn. And it's by a Roxy. So just having the TA on her enables her to live. In some other phases, maybe she might be like close to death. But that's the only place I think like... That's the only way I think like TA would be helping. Like I've seen someone already done this without any TA units, but he did end up losing his Margaret on that same Roxy phase. But for the most part, we should be tanky enough to get to maybe that phase, and like the last team is gonna be human team. It's not that hard to kill either, so you should be fine regardless. The same thing as we always have to go through when you're playing goddesses. You're gonna just survive the first turn, and with crit resistance, hopefully you don't pick up any stray crits to just make your day that much worse, especially for like the tier team. But every other team except maybe the tier turn 1 and the one with Roxy turn 1, I think that's the only two teams that might be like a slight variation from just playing it pretty normal. Like, because every other team feels really squishy, and you can get them under control very fast. In 1-2 turns, you should be back to like almost full HP, very tanky, with a kill hopefully, and at that point you're just healing to go to the next team. The Assault Meliodas team, I've thought of maybe just playing it the same way, where we just cleanse and start like stacking the heal, but I don't think it's really needed, because your turn 1 turn 2 DPS is not really a problem. What becomes a more like annoyance is the amount of ignites that they're going to be stacking on us. So just getting the mon speed out of the way turn 1 is, I think, a very viable play. And just cleansing last, so any extra debuffs, we get rid of everything. Like, we're back to like very tanky standards, and no one should be able to die. No one should die off this quickly, even though like you see here, he pulled a level 3 for whatever reason. His RNG is just cracked. I do end up pushing my Margaret's ult because it's just an easy way to take Mell. You don't need to, but I just found like I like doing this, especially for any assault melee, because sometimes like most assault melees I come up against, they're more tanky than I would like them to be. So just pushing an ult, a single target ult, just to get rid of him specifically, so I can just take my time after I kill him just to heal up properly before going through to the next team. I think that's what I would prefer to do at most times. You probably don't need to, because if he's by himself, he won't really do that much damage, but I don't want to risk it and like have an extra annoyance on the field when I can just get rid of it this easily, you know? And as always, I don't know why I made it a habit that I gotta go for Liz's ult for like a perfect heal before going through to another phase, like to another stage. the tier stage. Now this stage can become a problem. If you get critted, it can go downhill very, very fast from tier crit. If your tournament gets critted turn 1, it can be really bad, but hopefully it doesn't get critted and you survive pretty well and everything's fine. So now looking at tier's HP, it's only at 280, and I have seen people killing him turn 1, but honestly, I do not think it's that much of a threat. I would just straight up prefer just going for a double buff healing turn 1 just to stabilize my team a little more, because at this point I'm just pretty sure we're able to like get the kill next turn and be like very comfortable in HP for my turn 1, for my turn 2. And now that like I actually need some HP for my Ludo, my Margaret, I'm just gonna hit with her just so I can lifesteal a little more and just get a kill. Also, you do see here how squishy they really are. So that's why I actually just go for a tier kill, and then after this I'm gonna just try to like get my Liz's ult off before we go through to another phase, and just try to pick off 1 or 2 units and maybe leave Diane or Freya last, so I don't really run into like too much problems. But they can't really do too much damage to me or like kill anyone at this point. So I just have to get my Liz's ult off to heal to move on to the next phase. Basically the same checkpointing as before. Brunhilde for me is like the best option to kill second, and whoever else gets ult first, which ends up being Diane. So I am gonna straight up just go for her, just get her out of the way since she's gonna get ult first. So it gives me a little more time to actually get my heal off. If Freya had gotten her ult, I'd kill Freya, leave Diane. Either is okay. Both should work fine in like your healing process. Especially like because the next team is going to be the Roxy team that I've been talking about, so that's why I'm making sure like I heal perfectly, because at this point every bit of HP is going to count and we need to tank turn 1, or at least see how close it becomes, because maybe you still die if your HP is a little lacking, but for the most part if she is TA she should live. I think that's literally the difference between her dying. Tarmiel is not really like, you don't really need to worry about it. Tarmiel, it's literally the Margaret on this turn, because yeah, look at this. Yeah, that's the difference with the TA, I think. Literally 1 HP. So without it, she straight up dies. And I'm just gonna go for this play because I need to heal her back all the way up, and I can't risk her dying here. This team is not really a threat. It's just like the turn 1 can be really bad because it kind of breaks your team if they kill your Margaret. But even with 3 units, you should be fine killing the Escanor human team in the end. But regardless, I am still gonna be making like a more conservative play, trying to like heal myself before going through, even though I'm pretty sure I can probably kill it with like this same amount of HP, but I want to go through with like full HP just in case, because you never know, because RNG for me on this can be like very, very annoying. I first don't actually go for like the same like recovery play. I just want to heal up, make sure I get my buffs in. I don't want to take too much damage, and as you can see, like Essener can crit you. Hopefully it doesn't crit you too much. There are times when maybe a crit can be detrimental, especially if he like merges some crazy RNG, so hopefully that doesn't happen to you. Right here I kind of wanted to go for a kill on him. Maybe the 3 attacks would have been better, but I do end up going for a buff double hit, and unfortunately we do not kill. He's like 10 HP still, but we should be okay. I just pull like a double AoE from my Mell, and that's pretty much all I need, I think, just to kill. So yeah, not really that bad. Only thing is whether you have your Margaret TA'd, so you can have her in this fight or not, but regardless, you still should be able to do it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, hope this helps, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Everything's so different now. Sitting by the fire as we'd watch the flames burn out. I miss the days I wasn't afraid. Now I always have my guard up. Hands on my face, I learned to cope with the pain. I know that people think I'm trying to get attention, but in reality I'm trying to send a message. I know there's kids out there that are going through the same thing, and if you're one of them, I hope to help your suffering. Just know it will get better, and these feelings do not stay the same. No, they don't stay the same. I don't wanna make you feel bad, but you gotta ruin